I guess the first thing is, how have the past couple of days been since you arrived in Melbourne, and what have you been able to get up to so far since you've been down there?
Yeah, it was pretty hectic early on. So we got a text at about 4 o'clock saying we needed to be at the airport at 7. So everyone just threw some clothes and training gear in the bag and got to the airport. And since we've been here, we've been pretty restricted. So we've pretty much just been leaving the hotel to train only, and that's about it.
Is the plan to have a little bit more downtime than usual, though? Perhaps try and use this as a team bonding experience, as much as it's all quite stressful.
Oh yeah, I suppose. I mean, we're a very tight knit group, but we had a fair bit of bonding time together last year in Perth and stuff like that. But no, at the moment, and until we get back from Adelaide, I'm pretty sure we're under pretty strict COVID protocols.
Let's talk about your year up to this point, Will. Out of the best 22 to start the season, then worked way back in. So how good is it been to get back into some good form and, holding on to your spot in the team for the last few weeks?
Yeah, it's been good. It's been good to come back into the team and play a role and play quite consistently. To have a bye last week was really convenient for me to still be able to come and play at Port this week. So really, really just enjoying it, and grateful to be in the side.
You're not feeling any ill effects from the Hawthorn game still, or at all?
Nah, all good. We've on a personal level, I'm fine, and from a team perspective, we've reviewed it and moved on and shifted our focus to Port Adelaide.
Were there any?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, Brian. The concussion sort of symptoms. Were there anything actually on the night? It seemed like a reasonably minor one. Were you were you in bad shape, or was it sort of all pretty minor, Will?
No, it was pretty cruisy. It was just just got a head-on head clash and was a bit dazed for a few seconds, but those concussion tests are pretty hard to pass. So I knew as soon as I went down into the rooms that I'd be in strife no matter what. Even on my best of days, I struggle to pass those things. So it was a bit frustrating, but silver lining was there was a bye and I didn't have to miss a game.
And is it one that sort of, I suppose it makes you think of the bigger picture, like in terms of those protocols? I suppose in previous years you might have been able to get back out there, but do you feel it's important that they make a fairly conservative call on those things?
Yeah, I think 100%. I mean, everyone reacts differently to concussions, and it's a bit of a grey area. So the safest way to do it is what the AFL has implemented, and it just almost guarantees that you're not going to be out there the next week, but then you should be all clear to go if you're not having any symptoms.
Will, Braden from 9 in Melbourne, obviously good of the Bulldogs to let you use their facilities. Is your understanding that might be the case for the short term, I suppose, or could you possibly be moving around grounds? Are you aware yet? I'm
not too sure on that personally, but it was good to have a run around out there this morning. It's a nice deck, so we'll be grateful for any club to let us use their facilities whenever we need. So it was good.
You're prepared for the possibility of playing West Coast at the MCG as opposed to back home in Sydney?
I think what we've learned over the last few days is anything can happen overnight. So we're prepared for anything. If it's here or Sydney, we'll be ready to go, and we'll just adapt to whatever ground we're playing at.
Are the protocols you're under similar to the ones from last year, where it's just train, play, and be in the hotel, or have you got a little bit of flexibility?
At the moment, we're only allowed to leave the hotel to go to training, and vice versa. So until I think we're back from Adelaide and the governments agree, or we've got a few negative tests, and I think we might get a bit of flexibility with what we can do. But at the moment, it's simply just stay at the hotel or training.
Does that mean that you won't be able to? Does that mean that you won't be able to see your family while you're over here?
Yeah, at this stage, we're not allowed to see family at this stage. But as I said, I think once we get back from Adelaide, the rules might relax a little bit and we can get a bit more flexibility.
Can they sit in the front row and maybe you can give them a high five or something? Like, is there any way that you can actually, actually see them themselves?
No, I don't think so, unfortunately. Yeah, unless they're down the bottom and I'm waving from the window. Yeah, we're not allowed to leave the hotel. So
just going back to a bit earlier about what I said about the best 22 and all the, competition, do you think there is added competition for spots amongst the youngsters with how quickly Errol and Braden and Logan and now more recently Joel have been able to come in and, impact relatively quickly?
Yeah, 100%. It's very competitive for spots, and I think that's the best problem you can have at a footy club. Yeah, we've seen Errol, what he did earlier in the year, and the impact he's had. Yeah, and as you said, more recently, Joel's come in. He's got given an opportunity and he's taken it with both hands. So yeah, it's very competitive, but it's also really good to see it. It keeps everyone, a little bit more motivated to go out and play their role.
Will the Swans today officially launch their bid for an AFLW team? What would that mean for? What would an AFLW team mean for your club? Yeah, it'd be amazing. We've had the Swans Academy, the girls in the Swans Academy for a long time now, so it would be really exciting for not only those girls but also for us as a club to join the AFLW. So yeah, it's really exciting times ahead.
Will, can I just ask, do you know how many players you've brought down as the squad?
I'm not sure on the exact number. I think a bit over 30, but not 100% sure.
And I suppose flowing on that, in terms of the next block of games, how did you approach? Have you sort of discussed it as a group that, pre-buy, that's done now, and now it's about the next block? You've got obviously the power of the Eagles, Dogs and Giants. It can almost make or break your season in terms of the sides that you're playing. So how are you approaching the next block?
Yeah, we've been lucky enough to put ourselves in a position where we can really compete this year. So each game's a new challenge for us. We don't take for granted the spot we're in, and we just go out and play to our system each week, and it should hold us in good stead.
Well, does the season feel like it's been split in two a bit though? You've just had the bye, and obviously now you've had to move out of Sydney, and as Braden just said, you've got this big run of 5 or 6 games, I think it is, where you're up against other finals contenders. Does it feel like now you've put that behind you and you're ready to attack that next big group of games?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, all our focus is currently on Port Adelaide, and whatever happens after that game, we'll review it and we'll quickly move on to West Coast. So it's a cliche, but everything's taken week by week. It's probably the same with every club, but yeah, we've got tunnel vision on Port Adelaide, and then we'll start to expand a bit later next week.
You look at a side like Port Adelaide, what's something that you look at and go, okay, we're going to really need to knuckle down on that?
Yeah, I think if we just bring our pressure and our hunt on the opposition, we can really let our game flow from there. They're a great side. They've shown that last year and what they've been able to do this year. So it's going to be a tough game. It's always a tough contest against Port, but we've got some systems in place that hopefully we can implement to help us win.
Well, how do you shut down Ollie Wines?
Yeah, well, he's obviously in elite form at the moment, and really good, contested player, and starts a lot of their ball movement with winning it inside the contest. So we've got elite inside midfielders that we're happy to match up on them and back our boys in to get the job done.
Do you think he'll receive a tag, or will it sort of be a whole midfield team effort?
I've got full faith in our midfield, so that those boys can get that done. If he's starting off hot, we might have to do something, but early on we'll just back our boys in to get the job done.
And what will it be like coming up against former teammate Alir?
He had to be good, actually. He's a good mate of mine, so it'd be interesting lining up on him, but it'd be yeah, as I said, interesting. Not too sure how that'll play out, but looking forward to it.
Will you send out some text messages before the game? Maybe a bit of banter between the two?
No, I think I'll wait till after the game, hopefully. But no, we'll see how he goes.
How much have you actually watched of him this year, Will? And yeah, have you been sort of, I suppose you sort of always knew he was capable of that sort of football, yeah?
Yeah, he's been playing really, really good footy. He's been intercepting for them really well, and also sets up a lot of their ball movement from the back half. So he's a great player, and we always knew that. So we'll make sure we watch him.
And I'm guessing you would have played on him a couple of times in intra-club sort of scrimmages. What's he like as a defender?
Yeah, I've played him a few times. He's obviously really strong, and his acceleration once he takes off, he's pretty quick to go. So he knows how I play, and I know how he plays. So hopefully we can sort something out there.
One more, guys. Have anyone got one more?
I was going to ask Will just about with Sam Wicks missing this week with suspension. Obviously, he brings a lot of forward pressure, important part of the team for that reason, if only for that reason. Does that mean that perhaps it'll be a bit more of a focus for yourself rather than getting up the ground as much as you've been doing lately?
Absolutely. Each week our forwards front of mind is our pressure, and don't let the defenders exit the ball easily. So with Wixie missing this week, we'll really knuckle down and have a big buy-in from everyone.